The farmer's name was Elias Mercer, and for 15 years he lived with only the wind for company. His land sat where the plains gave way to dry hills, a place most folks avoided because the soil was stubborn and the nights were long. Elias rose before dawn, worked until his back ached, and spoke to no one except his mule, Jonah. He had buried his parents young, never married, and learned the quiet language of survival, how to read clouds, how to coax water from reluctant ground, how to endure. People in the nearest town called him strange but honest. He came once a month for seed, tools, and salt, paid in clean coin, nodded politely, and left. He never stayed to talk. So when word spread that Elias Mercer had gone to the trading post and returned with a woman, no one knew what to make of it. The woman had been called Nayland by her people, though few remembered that name. She was Apache, one of the last from a small band that had been scattered by war, sickness, and broken promises. For months she had been passed from place to place, treated like a burden, then a curiosity, then property. By the time Elias saw her, she stood alone at the edge of the post, wrists bound loosely, eyes steady but empty. Elias had not gone there looking for a person. He needed a new plow blade. But when he heard the trader boasting about the last Apache woman left behind, something twisted hard in his chest. He did not like the word bought. It felt wrong the moment it formed in his mind. Still, he knew how the world worked. If he walked away, someone else would claim her, and not all men carried quiet hearts. He paid the trader, said nothing more, and cut the rope himself. "You are free to go," he told her simply, gesturing toward the open land. Nayland did not move. She had heard promises before. Elias mounted his mule and began the long ride home, expecting her to disappear behind him. Instead, when he glanced back hours later, he saw her walking at a careful distance, feet bleeding but steps firm. He slowed. The first weeks were the hardest. Nayland spoke little English, and Elias spoke none of her language. He gave her a small room near the kitchen, left food outside the door, and never entered without knocking. At night, he heard her cry softly, like the wind slipping through cracks in the wall. Elias did not ask questions. He believed some wounds healed best without hands pressing on them. He showed her the well, the fields, the safe places to walk. He worked as he always had, though now he was aware of another presence, quiet, watchful, strong. Nayland rose before him, helped with the animals, learned the rhythm of the land as if it had once belonged to her. Slowly, words came. She taught him how to say water in her tongue. He taught her the names of stars as he knew them. Some nights they sat on opposite sides of the fire, sharing silence like bread. In town, whispers followed him. "Why keep her? Dangerous. Those people. Can't trust a savage." Elias answered none of it. He had lived alone too long to fear other people's opinions. One winter night, a sickness swept through the valley. Elias collapsed in the field, fever burning through him like wildfire. For 2 days he drifted between waking and dreams, memories tangling with pain. When he woke, Nayland sat beside him, pressing cool cloths to his forehead. Herbs simmered on the stove, sharp and bitter. She spoke then, halting but clear. "My father was a healer. Elias survived. After that, something shifted. Not ownership, not obligation, something quieter, stronger, trust." In spring, soldiers rode through the valley, asking questions about runaways. Elias stood in his doorway, hands steady, heart pounding. "No one here but me," he said. Nayland watched from the window, understanding more than words could carry. That night, she placed a small woven band in his hand, a symbol of gratitude, not submission. "I stay," she said, "because I choose." Years passed. The farm changed. The soil softened under careful tending. Crops grew where none had before. Elias learned that Nayland's people had once lived in balance with land like this, taking only what was needed, giving back what they could. She never forgot who she was. She sang songs Elias could not understand, facing the rising sun. She told stories of mountains far away, of a people who had not vanished, only scattered like seeds. Elias listened. When visitors came, they saw not a master and a servant, but 2 survivors sharing work, meals, and respect. Some left confused, others thoughtful. Elias grew older, slower. Nayland grew stronger, more certain. Together they stood against storms, droughts, and the heavy weight of the past. One evening, as the sky burned red and gold, Elias said, "I'm sorry for the way the world brought you here." Nayland nodded. "I am not sorry I stayed." When Elias died many years later, he was buried beneath a cottonwood tree on his land. Nayland placed stones in the Apache way, marking his journey with care. She did not leave after that. The farm became known as a place of quiet fairness, where travelers could find water, rest, and a story worth hearing. And people no longer spoke of the farmer who lived alone. They spoke of the man who chose to do one decent thing in a cruel time, and of the Apache woman who turned survival into legacy.